All right, just trying to make sure we're all up and running. Everyone can hear, audio is good, looks like it is. I'm gonna let people join up on this thing. So if you're watching this video, it's live at 8:52, January the 16th. It's a Thursday evening. The forecast is really interesting into next week with the Arctic air that's going to be working this way, coupled with the precipitation chance. So we're talking wintry modes of precipitation. Again, I'm going to try to let people join up on this thing, just so I don't start right away. It's a live thing on our Facebook page. And welcome if you're joining us via YouTube. It's one of our other channels. And that really, our YouTube page is great treasure trove of forecast videos. That's where they live. If you ever want to go back and see what a forecast was talking about on a given day. I'm just trying to allow people to join up here. And we will get started. Again, the time right now is 8:53. It is January the 16th. It's a Thursday evening. And the focus of this forecast will be the Arctic air headed this way and the modes of precipitation that may be in play heading into next Tuesday. So before I start talking about this, just know in your head that this is still 4 to 5 days away. We're not yet into what I would say is the high resolution, better data for a scenario like this. That's coming over the weekend. So we're still putting the pieces together. I like to use analogies, and for this one, I'd still say we're trying to put the borders of a puzzle together before we start filling in the pieces. The filling in of the puzzle, the middle section will come in over the weekend with the higher resolution data. So we'll get started here talking about what to expect. This is the next 3 days. Mild. Tomorrow's the mildest of this week and maybe of the next 7 days on Friday. South winds come back. That bumps temperatures up mid-70s easily tomorrow afternoon. It'll be a blend of sun and clouds. Then our Arctic air, the initial arrival starts to work in Saturday morning. There may be some fog early Saturday morning before this front comes in, but Saturday is primarily going to be more of a shift of the wind. It'll be northerly. It'll still be mild, highs near 70, mainly sunny, and not until Sunday will that colder air start to feed into South Texas. So it'll be a little bit delayed, but Sunday it will be cold, upper 30s in the morning, near 50 in the afternoon, and it will be breezy. So, you have all weekend to get your freeze preps ready. By this point, we know what to do when temperatures are going to be forecast to be freezing. I don't see anything the likes of 2021 headed our way. Right now, I'm not seeing a pipe bursting type of thing headed our way, but plants, people, pets, exterior spigots, things like that is what we're going to have to be thinking about. So we'll walk through the next few days here on our Futurecast. Mild tomorrow. That front will be coming into the panhandle tomorrow of Texas and then arriving in South Texas Saturday morning. But again, that colder air will still be north of here, even though the winds will have shifted to out of the north here early Saturday. And Saturday's mild, mid-70s, mainly sunny. By Sunday, that's when the colder air starts to filter in. You'll feel it. It'll be upper 30s in the morning. The afternoon will be near 50. Still mainly sunny, though, on Sunday. After that, this is when things start to change. with respect to precipitation chances. And a lot of this is going to have to do with the development of a coastal area of low pressure. Tonight's data, both the GFS and the European models want to push this toward the Texas and Mexico border on Monday afternoon. So at this point, it's looking like a cold rain for everybody in South Texas Monday afternoon into early Monday night. Monday overnight is when things start to change. So what I'm going to do here, we're looking, I made this graphic to show how the air is stacked vertically over the coastal bend according to forecast modeling at this point, 4 to 5 days from right now. So subject to change. I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible with respect to what the data is showing me and how to interpret said data. So Monday afternoon, it's rain because the atmosphere will be above freezing up to 10,000 feet and it'll be saturated. The snow growth region at the top of the atmosphere here, at least on this chart, up around 20,000 feet, it's going to be dry, so no snow up there. That part of the atmosphere stays dry, the snow growth region, into Monday overnight / pre-dawn Tuesday morning. It does get a little bit lower though, and that'll play a role perhaps into Tuesday late morning, early afternoon. So with that, there's some changes into the overnight hours of Monday / early Tuesday morning. It's dry in the snow growth region. There's a melting layer between 5,000 and 10,000 feet up. And then below 5,000 feet, we get a saturated freezing layer. At the same time, surface temperatures will be close to freezing in the coastal bend. That's where we start to introduce the chance for a transition to freezing rain. And that's when roads could start becoming problematic. If that verifies and we start seeing accumulating freezing rain, that's when the roads would start becoming problematic. Bridges and overpasses would be first, so that would be the tell that freezing rain is falling. If the bridges and overpasses start to become, slick, that would happen before surface level streets, neighborhood roads, things like that. So Monday overnight into Tuesday morning, that's when we may see the transition from rain to freezing rain. And then this is the change in tonight's data. Haven't spoken about this yet, really until tonight, because I'm starting to see hints of a trend of precipitation lasting a little bit longer into Tuesday, like say early afternoon. And if that were to happen, the atmosphere would have enough time to do two things. One, it would get cold below freezing throughout the atmosphere. And two, the most important part is that the snow growth region could also become saturated. And if it does, with that coastal low nearby, we'd likely see the production of snow, and that snow could then fall through the atmosphere, not melting because it would be frozen, the whole way up and down into late Tuesday morning, early Tuesday afternoon. And it could be that there's a chance for snow if that happens. If the precip exits early Tuesday morning, probably not going to have enough time to let the atmosphere work itself over into that setup for snow. So there's still stuff to iron out. This is not a guarantee, but it's the trend that I'm seeing in the data tonight. So that's the big update, that we could go from rain to freezing rain overnight Monday into Tuesday morning. And then if the precip lasts long enough, Tuesday into late morning, early afternoon, it is possible that we see some snowflakes in the coastal bend, and it wouldn't have to be below freezing at the surface for that to happen. You can get snow at 35, 36 degrees at the surface if the freezing layer is just above ground level. So, that's what I'm seeing in the data. Show you how the modeling handles this. And this model, the European, it's not quite as aggressive as the GFS, and it's nowhere near as aggressive with respect to the temperatures as the Canadian model. So I think it's a happy medium. I think it's been the most consistent up until now. So I think it's a good one to look at for this. This is, again, the European model starting as rain Monday afternoon. That coastal low will be sitting close to the Texas-Mexico border. It will be pumping in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And at the same time, as it spins, you can see the wind contours on the map here. As that low is beginning to wrap itself up and get a little more organized, it'll start to draw air in from the north, and that air will be colder. So not only does it saturate the atmosphere, that coastal low, but it also brings in colder air from the north because of its spin. So Monday night, cold rain. This is 9:30, but as we head into the overnight, watch how the freezing rain starts to show up, that pink layer moving in from the north. That air will be getting colder from north to south, and I think we could easily see this happen. The freezing rain, I'm more confident in than the snow at this point. And there's still a lot of avenues we could take. Again, 4 to 5 days out, there's going to be some adjustments. But as we move into Tuesday early in the morning, freezing rain becomes a real possibility, according to tonight's data. And if we can keep the precip around long enough, this is approaching noon on Tuesday, that's when there could be that transition from rain or freezing rain to snow. That's when that could happen. But if this gets out of here more quickly, the atmosphere doesn't have enough time to make that transition, and we likely only see rain to freezing rain. So there's still stuff to iron out. You can see how quickly it moves out of here. By 3, it's into the southeastern U.S. So game on from a forecast perspective. This is how I see the precip types and at time for various locations and regions in the coastal bend. The gist of this is to see Monday afternoon begin as rain, Monday overnight, after midnight through about sunrise Tuesday. That's when we'll see that transition to freezing rain as the freezing air at the surface starts to move in. Then if it lasts long enough, if the precip can linger long enough into Tuesday morning, early afternoon Tuesday, that's when we could see that transition, a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours of a window for some snow. And that's the big change that I'm seeing in tonight's data. Last night, the GFS went way warm. Tonight, it's going a lot colder, so it's flip-flopping. The European, more of a straight shooter at this point. With respect to consistency, you want to see consistency in the modeling, and the European's been that for us. So the European, just for transparency's sake, I think was spitting out 1 inch of snow. It was also spitting out 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain and 1/4 of an inch of rain. I'm not there yet for totals. We're just talking about the types of precipitation that could be in play. Totals, that's going to present itself as we work over the weekend and into next Monday. On Monday, I'll have totals on the forecast when I'm here at work, leading up to this episode of rain, freezing rain, and or sleet. not sleet, snow. I don't think sleet's going to be part of our equation here, but we'll leave it with the 7-day. Again, time is 9:07, January 16th. It's a Thursday. And there's the weather impact alert. It's possible that we catch some freezing rain, and possible, but I'd say not as likely right now, at least, for that transition to snow to happen into Tuesday midday or so. If it clears out quickly, temperatures could easily warm into the upper 30s to around 40 on Tuesday. If the precip lingers, we could stay closer to freezing throughout the whole day. So there's still some nuance there. With respect to freezing temperatures, right now I've got Corpus Christi in the light freeze range both Tuesday and Wednesday morning. There's still some signs that it could be even colder Wednesday morning if things clear out quickly on Tuesday. It's possible we could easily be in the mid-20s. So there's still stuff to reason out. That's 6 days out. So confidence isn't going to be that great at that point. Trying to think of what else I can say about temps and freezing and preps. If you're looking about travel plans, right, the time to start really thinking about getting to wherever you want to be, you don't want to be traveling around on Monday night. For sure not Tuesday morning at this point. And then depending on what happens Tuesday morning, Tuesday, you're going to have to wait and see how that all plays out, to see how the roads are. DriveTexas.org is a great site for that. It's just going to be a wait and see type of thing. So weather impact alert up and posted for late Monday into the first half of Tuesday. Freezing rain, maybe a transition to snow is possible. We've got 4 or 5 days to refine this, so we will certainly be doing that over the next few days. I actually won't be in the studio tomorrow. Kristen will be in doing weather. I will be out at the Nueces County Junior Livestock Show with Leslie, Mike, Chris, and co. So I won't be in studio, but I'll probably, update just from home as I see data coming in, things like that, and we'll be around over the weekend too. So that's the latest. That's what I've got. Use the next few days to get ready. Freeze preps. You have all weekend to get it done, and then the changes really start to unfold Monday night and into Tuesday. So with that, I'm going to leave it here. Get back to work. And if you're in Corpus Christi and you got us, we'll see you here at 10 o'clock.